Not going to get into any hardcore of anything. Don't need the editor. Don't need my director of anything like that. Just need to get this one out of there. So let's just do that thing, and let's roll the intro. Let's roll the intro. Get this. All right, just get that little nick out of the way. Pretty much spur of the moment. Welcome to the channel. As always, like and subscribe if you do like the content. Hit chuck a like, whatever. You already know what this is about. Let's get to the gist of it. I want to clean my stuff up as we usually do, and don't want to make the mood too totally difficult. But as I am coughing up crap, pardon me, let's get into it. So, as of this second, April 13th, right about almost 7:45, pretty much is official. The Arizona Coyotes are going to be going to Utah. There's numerous reasons why. I personally am not necessarily a fan of this. However, I do remember saying something of this sort in my very first video. And some of you agreed, and some of you thought I was needed to go to an insane asylum. But I remember, if I remember correctly, as I mess around here, August 20th, 2023 was my very first video on this channel. And it was a pilot episode, right to work, on the Arizona Coyotes situation. It was a 20-something 23-minute video, something of that sort. Because at that time, we still didn't know anything. Come New Year's 2024, nobody still knew anything. They just knew that playing in a 4,500 college barn made no sense. And through this entire process, it has been an absolute... You think the mess for the Oakland A's was nuts, or the Tampa Bay Rays? This is about an owner that probably did not know, was probably the most incompetent owner I've ever seen. Maybe worse than the A's owner, maybe worse than Bob of the Pirates. However, there were glimpses of light. I have a source who I'm hoping we get on this channel one of these days. We're going to do a podcast. She knows more about this situation than anybody regarding to Phoenix News. And a couple other sites and a couple other channel links that I have looked at. For people from Elliot Friedman and a couple others, Pierre McGuire, or whomever. I have looked to see all the stretches of where the directions could go. And it gave me a mental breakdown. It literally, I couldn't take it anymore. But it was starting to have glimpses that the Arizona Coyotes were going to finally be able to build a new arena right outside Scottsdale Roads on suburban Phoenix, and have a whole entire establishment being ready by 2027, and you'd keep the team, and you would keep the team in Arizona. And then Mayor Scottsdale said no. He's like, I don't want the team here. They're not welcome here. Recently just found out he flipped the whole thing and said, I had changed my mind. I think it would be pretty cool to have them around here. I don't know who to believe, but my friend just basically said, just don't believe all those websites that there's those websites that are really basically telling you they don't want the team here. First off, I don't know what to believe, but I'm going to believe her. So the gist of the whole thing, you get kicked out of Gila River Arena in Glendale for what? The arena did not pay their taxes. And you use the excuse for the media. They didn't succeed. They weren't successful. One conference final, and you got beat to hell by the Kings. And so they kicked them out. So they needed an arena to play. The owners of the Phoenix Suns arena, Footlight Arena, or whatever it was, used to be called the, I can't remember what it used to be called back then, but they needed an arena to play in, so they got permission from Arizona State to play in Mott. It's a cute little arena. My friend has gone to a handful of games. It's an easy ticket, and a lot of people win. Mostly a lot of people from other places and other teams thought that was a cheap ticket and enjoyed seeing the team. They've been playing there. Now this would be 2 years. I think this is 2 years or 3. I can't remember what. I believe it is two. It's 2 or 3. And it's now come to the point now where they had glimpses to get this arena deal done and keep the team here. Because I've said back in my first video and a handful of other videos in between, you have Houston down the road that wants a team. You got Kansas City who's got an arena that don't know what to use in it. And then I've seen everything from TSN all the way up saying they need to just move that team back to Quebec because the Quebec Nordiques are needed back in the league. And they have a state-of-the-art brand new building, 4 or 5 years old, ready to go. And Gary Bettman will never bring a team back there. So they fumbled that idea. Gary Bettman is right now just messing everything up. But it became an absolute mess. And now, with all these things of, well, we got to wait till June to bid on this land. And they still want to buy this land. The Coyotes ownership still wants to, not even necessarily the ownership. They still want to legitimately, their front office still wants to buy the land because I read this from the Coyotes website off of Facebook. It is from Arizona Coyotes chairman and governor Alex Morello. There has been a lot of discussion in recent days of the future of the Coyotes. I understand and empathize with the concerns of our fans, our community, our partners, players, and front office, and all team members. I hope to address these issues soon. As I am able to speak on the topics, we are focused on a myriad of issues that are unresolved. And therefore, we are unable to make an official public thing at this time. Basically, in a way of speaking, yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have a clue. He's like one of those new bosses that doesn't know what to do when something big comes up. And now I just have to find that one page, and I said it on a I said it on a fart thing that I actually find in my own thing. I read this thing that they have been told, the players and coaches have been told that they are in fact going to be going up to Salt Lake City to see the check out everything, check out all the things that they have, the facilities and everything like that. They would play in the Delta Center or whatever the name of the Utah Jazz Arena is for a handful of years. There's a handful of players and faculty members on that team that say they do not even want to go there because they wanted the team to stay. They already are built a house. They're settled family. And you know what? This is just like any other franchise that is in dire straits of moving, and they won't do it. They won't pack their bags and leave. They'll rather pack their bags and leave and go somewhere else. But for a handful of years, we never really talked about expansion in sports or relocation. Now we're at it again. But that's a whole different topic about A's going to Vegas and baseball expansion and all that crap. That's a whole different conversation that we can have. This is about an owner that did not know what to do in these situations, and I'm gonna find this up real quick right now. I'm really gonna put this up right now. I'm gonna go back to a reel that I did on Facebook earlier today. The Utah Jazz owners, Ryan and Ashley Smith, they own the Utah Jazz, have purchased the Arizona Coyotes and will move them to Utah next season. Name and colors and brand will change. So, unfortunately, from 1996, this is officially going to be retired. It's a shame because this is a fantastic brand. When they brought the Kachina back, I was on it. It did say team will start fresh and they will be sellers at free agency. They're actually going to go to Salt Lake the day after their final regular season game and their final day when they check out of Mullet. So Ryan and Ashley Smith, who are the owners of the Jazz, like I said before, they were basically committed, knowing all this fiasco. Houston never made a phone call. Kansas City never made a phone, and Kansas City has enough issues going on as it is, regardless that they have a dynasty in the Chiefs. But Gary Bettman would not give Quebec a phone call and be like, I'm having issues with the Coyotes, are you interested? Because Gary Bettman is an absolute. Anyway, 3 major reasons why this whole thing has happened. One is basically the team was never successful. From 96 to this year, 1 conference final. 2 is basically ownership itself, because Alex Morello does not necessarily know how to handle crisis situations like this. You should have renegotiated with Gila River and went back to Glendale, but they didn't want you. So your issues with why Gila River Arena never worked, some of that, somebody has to be blamed for this. You can't blame everything on the team itself. And with 3, most importantly, it's definitely, you need to get that arena deal. I mean, if I messed up the numbers and everything like that, I don't care. But the whole thing is you need an arena. And you never really, you basically were on the highway coasting at 50 when you couldn't go 80 or 70. And try to figure ideas. And then when you had ideas in front of you, hey, I want to give this shot to Tempe and put this whole new entertainment area in Tempe, just outside of the university. You know, we'll pick up Arizona State University a little bit. We have a brand new arena. And Tempe said no. The state said no. Here's this thing in Scottsdale. Here's this thing in Mesa. They both said no. Then the Scottsdale Road, that big gigantic land that could easily be used, mayor said no. Then he changed his mind and flipped it. They also had to figure out where the electricity and the water was coming from and who they have to bill for that. I'm kind of sad. But I'm sad that this brand, this is an old Phoenix Coyotes because they renamed the Arizona because they went to Glendale and played. Glendale is suburban Phoenix, but Glendale, Arizona is roughly about a half hour away from Phoenix, and that's exactly also where the Cardinals play. This is for you hockey people and hockey content creators and people, and I need to hear from a lot of you people. I may not have been 100% accurate in most of my facts, but this is for the hockey content people. And it goes from everybody, from post to post, from BW, hockey guy, the hockey jersey guy who does all his jersey collecting, jersey collectors all over the place. Anybody, give your input. Is this a sad day that we're going to lose one of the best, probably one of the most marketing brands? Regardless of the team's success, we're going to lose the Arizona Coyotes, Phoenix Coyotes. I love this logo. Absolutely love it. One of the best logos, probably, quietly, one of the most underrated. But for jersey content and jersey collectors out there, we're going to be iconically holding these because I am not off to the top of my head if I want to go and grab the white one because I just did get the 3rd jersey a while back. It's an unboxing that I did. But I can't get rid of this because this is an old starter and I love it and it's still in good condition. But I want to hear from the Jersey people on the NHL, and I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of what's going on? And I also don't want to have this go, because I'll make it a separate video down the road of what the team's going to be called in Utah, because that's a long ways away. It's probably going to be done in the early part of summer, because they're making two schedules. They're making one if they would have stayed in Arizona. They're making one if they're going to be in Salt Lake. I've seen stupid ideas already from the Salt Lake City Bighorns. We don't need a long name like that. Like Vegas Golden Knights was fine. Some guy on, whether it was Snapchat or whatever, and I hardly ever use Snapchat, so don't jump on me on that. He called it. He made it like red, orange, and white, and called them the Elks. Don't call them the Elks. That's dumb. Elks has nothing to do with hockey. Milwaukee Bucks make more sense, and that team's been like that for decades. Don't make it the Utah Elks. Edmonton Elks makes more sense, and Edmonton had to change their name from the Eskimos to the Elks because of the same BS that happened with the Redskins. I don't have a name or a color scheme for nothing for Utah. And I've seen so many stuff. I mean, they are the Beehive State. You could call them the Utah Sting and be done with it, but you need something to throw at marketing. And that's what the mayor and that's what the governor of Utah is actually trying to do. He's like, hey, give us some ideas. But I would like your intake about this whole thing. I threw this as a spur moment thing. It's going to be a little bit of a long video. I didn't want to make it too long, but it's something that needed to be addressed. It's a shame. And I'm not going to sit here and go back to August 23rd, 2023 and say I told you so. This was brewing. This was brewing the entire time. It's kind of like a big meal in a pot, but nobody wanted to go check on it. And yeah, it's gonna be cool to see it change, because it's definitely going to change in the next handful of years. So looks like it's going to be the Utah, whatever they're going to be. I will find a jersey whenever that comes out, probably, and it'll probably be a Fanatics jersey. And I don't know if I'm going to drop 400. I have a feeling things are going to change by that time. And maybe I'll try to grasp one more, because it's the Coyote brand. It is what it is. And now you can't sleep on Utah, because they're going to start getting everything. They may get Major League Baseball in 5 years. So what can you possibly say? I'm not going to sit here and say, I told you so. I'm not going to, because I am as down as many others. It's a very, very hard pill to people to swallow, especially in the Arizona area where hockey was building very much. There's camps, there's all sorts of camps and young kids programs all over the place. There's many rinks in Arizona. That's where Austin Matthews came from. And even the Coyotes tried to sign him to a multi-year deal, and he took the money and stayed in Toronto. So I don't know. I need your input. Long live the Coyotes. But I know a lot of people in this world, people don't like change. Maybe Alex Morella and a handful of others in the business, maybe you guys should have thought about this a long time ago. Maybe even before the pandemic. And maybe when you had issues with Gila River, you should have had a better plan. And you didn't. Now somebody else is going to pick up the plan. They made a plan, and they went and did something about it. And it's in Utah.